What's going on, my lovely Aquarians, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tawny Michelle, and I'm an Aquarius moon. I'm a weirdo, probably just like you guys. Welcome to the channel. We are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here, so please keep that in mind. And let's go ahead and get into your March 2020 reading. This can resonate if you're an Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. Keep in mind, this is general though, so it may not resonate with everybody, or every single thing I say may not resonate with you. So keep that in mind. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So we are in Pisces season at the time that I'm filming this, and we will move into Aries season by the end of March. This month is a super huge month for you Aquarius, specifically because Saturn is moving into your sign. It's only going to step foot into your sign, so it's only going to be in your sign until like May, I believe, and then it will be moving back out into Capricorn again, but then it will be moving in for good December of this year, 2020. So cool shit, right? Basically, what this means for you guys, Aquarius, is that when Saturn moves into your sign, you're going to feel more of a sense of responsibility, because that is what Saturn stands for. Things are going to take more time and more work and more effort to really get done and to really do. So keep that in mind as well. You're not going to be able to kind of like rush through things as maybe you could before. But what this also means is it's going to really relieve this heavy burden that you've been carrying. You may have felt just like a heaviness, almost like it's on your back or on your shoulders for a long time now, because Saturn was in the sign right before yours. And the first cards that we got for your first week of March are the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Just please keep in mind, I cannot communicate worth shit right now, so don't judge me. But basically, I feel like there's been something or a lot of things that have kind of like a lot of responsibilities that have fallen on you. And you may have felt this pressure. You may have been like, I need to move forward from this. I need to drop these things. I need to get away. I need to go. There's a sense of like wanting to get away from something, wanting to push forward, wanting to kind of just move forward with something, just get the hell away from something, basically, and start something new here is what I'm getting. So that's awesome. Pisces is a place for you that is all about your values, your effort, your morals, your gifts, your skills, your resources, your money. Okay, so a lot of that could be a big theme for you this month. Now, Mars is also in the sign right before yours, Aquarius, which is possibly creating some turbulence behind the scenes, or things to do with your psyche or your subconscious, maybe some suppressed anger coming to the surface, or maybe even some kind of like things that you weren't aware of that are changing or that are coming to light. So that could definitely be something that's going on, or it could even be bringing up some insecurities and some anger related to those insecurities. So be wary of that. Now, Venus is going to be in a place for you that is all about family and your past and your childhood and your home. So this is really good if you've been wanting to redecorate, if you've been wanting to spend more time with family or connect with family or children. This is a really great month for that, okay? Now, Mercury will be in your sign until the 9th, and it will be retrograding, okay? Or not, sorry, until the 16th, and it will be retrograding. So what is going to happen here? It's going to stop retrograding on the 9th, but it's still going to be in your sign. So you may find that you're having a lot of communication errors, that you are possibly a little bit busier than normal, but things aren't really making sense, or things aren't going as quickly as you would like to in some ways in your life. You may also find that some truths are revealed, because for your monthly general energy, you guys have the Hierophant and the Judgment card, okay? So this is some heavy energy. This is definitely buckling down. This is definitely dealing with family rules, regulations, limits. And this is definitely possibly speaking out about something and also coming to terms with something from the past. You guys are starting to come out of a major time of closure where it's almost like, you know, you've really made peace with your demons. You've really made peace with the skeletons in your closet. You've made peace with the dead, basically. And so you're kind of at this point where it's like, okay, what do I want to do next? What do I want to create next? You know, this month, there's kind of that energy I feel for you too. And there could be some things that are coming up due to family or ancestral stuff, you know, past life stuff, just your family and your lines and things like that could definitely be coming up around this time. Burdens to do with your family, or burdens that you've been carrying for your family, or some responsibility that maybe you've had for your family. Either way, there's some kind of liberation that needs to happen in regards to your family or your home life, your family dynamic, your home dynamic, whatever, okay? Now, on the 9th, we will have a full moon in Virgo, which is a place for you that is all about shared resources, other people's money, other people's finances, debt, transformations, fear, psychology, those kinds of things. So you may have a lot of deep stuff coming up from the surface around that time as well, in order to close things out. This is, you know, it's a full moon, so it's definitely marking the end of a cycle. It's definitely closing some things out. You could be finally paying off a loan or a credit card or a bill or something along those lines as well around that time. Now on the 21st is where we finally get to the main event of this month, which is Big Daddy Saturn moving into your first house. And this is going to be a very big month, okay? And I think your cards here are very interesting. So like I said, there's going to be this sense of needing to buckle down, needing to start really building your foundation, okay? Your sense of self. Who are you out in the world? How do people look at you? What's your reputation? How does society look at you, right? Like, what are you wanting to do? You also have the card here of integrity. So there could be something this month that comes up where you have to be honest. You have to keep your integrity, Aquarius. Not that that's like an extremely hard thing for you guys to do normally, but we do have the card here coming up, and it actually fell out twice. It fell out when I was pre-shuffling, and then it fell out again when I was like really for real trying to get a card, you know what I mean? And so basically, you may be in a position where you have to somehow deal with people that are kind of shitty, to be honest, is kind of what I'm picking up from that card. It's almost like you may have to deal with people taking a closer look at you, or people judging you unfairly, or just shitty people in general. You may be in a situation where it's like you have to step it up, or you have to take control of something, or you have to prove your sense of authority. And so I really feel like you're being asked to keep your integrity through that. Now, we do have the Hope card here, which is interesting because we also have the Star card for your third week, which we'll get into in a second. So we're going to come back to this in just a second. But yeah, so we're going to go back to Saturn. I want to go over your cards really quick. So like I said, the first week we have the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this, like I said before, this is probably really trying to move forward with something, and it's going to be quick. It's like something that you've been really struggling with for a long time. I feel like is just going to be like boom, you know, it's going to be impulsive, it's going to be quick, or there may be some kind of new information that comes in that really helps you resolve something in March, okay, in the beginning of March. So that's awesome. So then the second week of March, we have the Magician and the King of Pentacles here. So I really see you guys creating something here, okay? This is really what I see. I really see you guys taking time to reflect, taking time to kind of like rejuvenate and focus on your resources, focus on what matters, what is worth to you. Okay, so there may be a situation that kind of helps you out financially, or with some kind of burden or responsibility financially, or with resources in general, where you kind of get to this point and you're like, okay, that's no longer a concern anymore. So now what do I want to do? What do I want to create? I have everything I need now. What do I want to create? And it's really kind of taking a step back and taking some time to yourself and focusing on healing and, you know, your journey and your recovery, and really putting things into the works to create from the ground up, to create from a blank slate, okay? So then for the third week of March, we have the 10 of Pentacles and the this is the Three of Cups. I thought it was the Star. My bad. So the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. So for some of you guys, you could be having some kind of family reunion, I see here. There could also be some kind of reunion related to your goals, okay? So you could be meeting people or hanging out with people from the past, or just even in your current life, that somehow are going to help you reach something or achieve something, okay? What I'm also picking up here for some of you guys is this could be some kind of event. This could be some kind of like social event that you're invited to or that you go to, that is going to kind of show you what you can achieve and what you want to achieve. Okay. And I also think that friends around the third week, if you're able to kind of do something social, I do think that, you know, your social life could be a source of motivation for you. It could be a source of reminding you what your goals are, reminding you what it is that you want to achieve and where you're going. Okay. So then for the last week, we have the 6 of Cups reversed and the 2 of Wands. Okay. So what I see here is that there's a sense of renewal with the 6 of Cups reversed there. There's a sense of finally kind of seeing where you've been holding your own self back, and that's around the time that Saturn will be entering your sign. Sorry, my eye keeps itching. Kind of like this sense of finally seeing where it is that you've held your own self back, where it is that you have made excuses in the past, or you've had all these excuses in the past to not do things that you really wanted to do, to not go and travel the world, or to not make that decision, to not move forward. It's almost like you've been waiting and nothing has gotten to be done. And so you're kind of at a sense now like, what's next, you know? And I think that Saturn is going to help you with that. I think that Saturn is going to show you where your boundaries are, show you where your limits are, in order to show you a more clearer version of where you're going and of where you want to go. And that really also goes into the 10 of Pentacles here with the 3 of Cups. It's kind of like, where am I going? What is the next move? And really celebrating. There could be a sense of celebrating that third week of March as well, and really looking towards the future. So now, here are the astrological things you need to know about Saturn moving into your sign. It will be a time to get more serious. It will be a time where you start buckling down, where you start thinking ahead, where you start thinking about what it truly is that you want to do, where you become more realistic, more practical, and where you become more responsible. It's kind of like an Earth to Aquarius moment. You know what I mean? Like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Okay, it's time to get real. It's time to do the footwork. You know what I mean? So you may find yourself adulting a lot this month and for the, you know, for the next couple months. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When it first comes in, this may, especially because Mars is going to be coming in right after it, this may feel like a huge change, or that something gets shaken up, or something becomes a little bit insecure or unstable for a little bit, in order to show you where the lack is, in order to show you where you're lacking. Now, because it's going to be in your sign, especially if you're an Aquarius rising, this is really more so going to do with who you think you are, how you see yourself, and also your body. Okay, so if you've been kind of not paying much attention to your body, or working yourself too hard, or not taking care of your body in any way, or not eating right, or anything like that, then this is going to really bring that to the forefront. And also Saturn is going to square Uranus in Taurus, which is the place for you that I talked about before, that is all about your family and home life. So this may bring a big change, a big kind of like shakeup, or quick change to do with who you are versus your family, or versus your home environment, and if it's really true and authentic to you, if where you're living or how you're living is true and authentic to you. And it may bring up some things from the past in order to show you and illuminate things for you, like we were talking about before with the Hierophant and the Judgment card. Okay, you're really going to start taking a huge self-analysis of yourself and your position in the world, and what you want to do, and who you are. You know what I mean? Like, who are you? And Saturn is going to help you define who you are. It's going to help you create a strong, sturdy foundation for your sense of self. You also may recognize what's physically lacking, so to say, when it comes to your body, or where you don't feel confident within yourself. You may notice that you are withdrawing a little bit, possibly, that you are a little bit more distant than normal, and that's completely normal. But yeah, it's kind of ripping the rose-colored glasses off to do with how you see yourself, basically. So, and like I said, this may feel a little bit insecure at first, but it's doing this for a reason. You know, it's showing you where your blocks are, basically. You know, it's showing you what you think that you're lacking in and why that's a problem and how that's holding you back from your own sense of self. So, but if you try to fill these voids that Saturn shows you, these places that you feel that you're lacking, which doesn't necessarily mean you are lacking, just means that you feel that way, you know what I mean? But if you try to fill these voids with external things, you know, relationships, people, food, money, clothes, like if you try to fill that sense of insecurity with external stuff, that is when, you know, you'll probably meet a lot of kind of disruption. And we normally all kind of go through that phase when Saturn transits any house. Honestly, we go through this phase where we see the lack and we see what's missing and we see all the things that we have to do and we see all the things that we've been putting off, and we try to go to work around it or take shortcuts or use superficial things to fill that void. We become more empty and it makes it worse, okay? Because Saturn wants you to truly do the work on yourself, okay, to really figure it out. And because it's your sign, Aquarius in nature is a very kind of scientific, technical sign. So you may have to use those Aquarian qualities to do the work on yourself. Now, if you're an Aquarius sun, okay, then you are going to be feeling this in a sense of, you may feel, this is going to be related to kind of like who you are and your purpose and how you show up in the world. Also your vitality, your energy. You may feel a little bit drained. You may feel like, you know, there's a sense of needing to be more responsible. Also, there could be some issues with the father that come up around this time. So be wary of that. But you're going to be really wanting to redefine your personality and any personality traits that you have. And also being more responsible. Now, and if you're an Aquarius moon like I am, depending on where your moon is and your sun is and your rising, if they're not at the beginning degrees of Aquarius, then you may not feel Saturn very much until he goes back in next year. Well, at the end of this year, technically. But if you're an Aquarian moon and your moon is anywhere, I would say in the first 10 degrees of Aquarius probably, then you may start feeling a little bit more detached emotionally. You may feel a little bit more distant from people. You may feel like you are kind of taking time to emotionally work things out more than you usually would. And you may find that you're kind of like bottling up your emotions, and Saturn may bring that to the surface as well. But these are just some of the things that you may find yourself going through. But, you know, Saturn is really just stripping away a lot of the illusions that we've had and making us think more outside of the box in Aquarius, making us get a little bit more innovative, making us, you know, redefine things and find new systems and ways of doing things and becoming more innovative, like I said. So yeah, so the other thing that's happening this month is we have the Aries new moon on the 24th, and this is going to be in a place for you guys that is all about communication, that is all about your local environment, transportation, your siblings, your neighbors, and your distant relatives and cousins. Now, you may find yourself with this Aries new moon facing some hard decisions about something that you may need to say or something that you may need to verbally communicate or get off your chest in some way that's really kind of holding you back from being you when it comes to your day-to-day lives and your habits and people that you deal with, also possibly once again family and work life. So it's kind of like reconnecting. So there may be some issues with communication or with technology in some sense that is somewhat, or there may be some kind of message that comes in that somehow affects your day-to-day routines, your health, your habits, and things of that nature. So that could be kind of what goes on around the Aries new moon, but it is definitely creating something new in terms of how you learn your skills, your communication, your local environment, and things like that. So Mars will move into your sign at the very, very end of the month, so and join Saturn. So this is going to be like a huge curveball, like a huge ball of like energy and drive, and really wanting to take action on something, really wanting to move forward with something. It's, you know, Mars is like an aggressive, assertive, impulsive energy, and it's going to be joining Saturn in your sign. So there's definitely going to be like a huge leap forward of wanting to redefine something about yourself and who you are and your life in general. Okay, so those are the main things that I am getting for you guys, Aquarius. Hopefully this resonated. Let me know down below if it did and how your month ends up going. Don't forget to check out your other signs videos for March. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.